All right, boys, as you know, Ferry to Ferry, our favorite ride out of the year up in Seattle, Washington, is coming up. If you're not familiar with this ride, the Facebook page is here. Check that out. It's up in Seattle. It's worth the drive, I promise. It is a sick ride out. It's basically 2 full days of riding, and that second day is a huge one. We go from island to island, taking ferries over, and seriously, the coolest ride out. There's a bunch of videos on my channel if you want to check that out. And I'm making a 16-hour drive for it, so you guys can make a little bit of a drive. I want to see you guys out there. If you don't remember, we left one of my prebug Zumas up in Oregon last year for the Ferry to Ferry ride, so then I could fly out to Oregon, ride with the boys when I go out there. And honestly, I haven't even done that yet since last year. There's a reason behind that, and we'll touch on a video, basically a mishap I had when I was on a ride out on the scooters, and I ended up going to jail with some problems with the law. Let's just say that. We'll touch on that later. I basically was unable to go up there. Now that that's all taken care of, I'm able to do that, but Ferry to Ferry is right around the corner, so we're going up there anyways. And I decided that I'm gonna bring the bike down that's up there, my red Zuma, and leave a different one up there. The red Zuma that's up there has been due for a refresh for a few years now, and I knew that thing would need a rebuild. I was hoping I was gonna fly up to Oregon before Ferry to Ferry and rebuild the motor on that, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen since it's a few weeks away. So the easier bet, if you remember, the junkyard Zuma. The easier to take this scooter up there with the fresh motor that's in it and leave that one up there, bring my red one back down, and eventually rebuild that. If you don't remember this scooter, I believe the scooter was like $200 from the auction yard. My buddy bought it, and I built the whole entire engine for him, and he ended up not really using it. So he sold it back to me. Definitely still needs a few things. So when we built it, we did the full entire stage 6 motor build, the exact same setup right here for the giveaway engines. Every item bought on the MOPBOYZ website is one entry to win this motor ending August 31st. Everything is brand new on this, from the Doppler crank stage 6. You know the deal. You can win this engine, but this engine is the exact same build that's in this scooter right now. This ZX pipe been on there. This bike came from the junkyard. It's garbage. This thing is no packing at all. It's super, super loud. It's an underperforming pipe for this setup, and it's just all around kind of junk. So we're pulling this off, and we're going to be changing a lot actually on this scooter. We got a new seat cover. The Thrill Seeker seat cover has a MOPBOYZ logo on here somewhere. Got some new grips for it, new brake levers since they're bent, new quick throttle. We have another set of handlebars because the handlebars that are on this scooter are actually very, very bent right now. I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but this side's bent down a lot, and this side's a little bent too. Along with all the levers being bent down now, due to whatever that crash was that the previous owner had on this bike. We also got a new pipe. Along with the new seat cover, we're gonna have to change the seat because right now, this seat just flops. There's no seat latch in here, but there's also no actual seat latch on the seat itself. There's usually a bar right here which latches into here, which holds your seat. So even if you put a seat latch in there right now, it's not gonna actually latch. It's gonna keep bouncing like this. So it's kind of sketchy when you hop to the seat on an e-knocker and the seat comes up and it throws you off. Taking the seat off of here, swapping that onto there. I think we're gonna be taking the rack off of here as well, and just a few other bits off that scooter.
Well, it was time to basically strip this scooter down to its bare bones. We were getting rid of a few things like the exhaust, things we weren't using again. Went ahead and checked the plug just because we were in there already, but most of this scooter is coming apart because, well, the handlebars are completely bent on this scooter. We have another set of handlebars from another Zuma that we are swapping on to here, but in order to get those handlebars off, basically everything has to come off from the cluster down. And we began draining the tank because we're going to be removing the tank when we go ahead and weld in our support that you will see later on in this video. But we got some new brake shoes to put on because these old brake shoes are glazed and the pads were thinned pretty bad. So we went ahead and grabbed ourselves my favorite, some OEM Yamaha Zuma prebug brake pads, because there's nothing better than OEM when it comes to these brake pads. I've tried everything, and I swear OEM is the best. We also got another spare wheel because the wheel that was on it is kind of bald and it had some holes in a few spots, as well as a few staples and nails I pulled out, and it was already plugged before. So we found a plug in it that was right here, and this tire has seen better days. So got some new brake levers to throw on because the brake levers that are on there are bent. So we removed that brake lever and continued on stripping down the handlebars. Like I said, everything has to come off, so we're literally removing every single bit of it. I tried to keep the brake reservoir on there because I didn't want to have to drain everything and re-bleed the brakes. So we fed it through there and then fed it back through with our new set. Got our new bars bolted onto there, and then just began on pretty much adding everything we have brand new onto there. So we have a quick throttle and that feels way better than the OEM throttle. I put those on almost every build I do, honestly, so we've slapped that on with some new grips and everything else we needed to do. We also had another intake because the one that was on it was the 90 elbow intake, which is a pure rubber intake. I prefer not to use those because the rubber sometimes will crack on those and you'll find an air leak that you didn't know you had, and you'll be dealing with problems on your bike. So we went with the 90 aluminum elbow, and then we just slapped on a new spigot to put the carb on. So we slapped our OEM brakes on, got the rear end dialed, kind of bouncing back and forth, threw that other tire on, and got this thing ready to rock and roll.
All right, we went ahead and we also grabbed a new shock too, mostly because this one's a little taller than I wanted. So I went with a little bit of shorter one, but this one's a little shorter than I wanted. But we're gonna throw it on and see what it's like. And Joe's knees, his scooter's clapped and it is due for a shock. So I'm gonna give him this one. Shock's in there. Definitely sitting a little low. It's the exact height as stock. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like that. We're gonna have to see. Over here, we're now working on Joe's knees bike. It has the vapor gauge, but does not show fuel on it. And we got rid of all the stock cluster up here. So he no longer has a fuel gauge. And we have a stage 6 one here. These are very simple. Basically, it's just one wire running to your actual fuel center unit, a ground, and 12 volts for the light on it. So we're gonna hook that up. You just gotta line it up right. That's what I'm talking about, guys, right here. When I'm talking about this guy not knowing anything.
No.
Okay, hold on, you're gonna break it, bro.
What? Break what?
First off, easy enough. We got our fuel gauge wire, ran down here, found what was switch 12 using that multimeter, have it grounded up to here by green wire, which I went ahead and put a new clip on because we had it unplugged anyways. We don't have the stock Speedo, but normal stock Speedo has a plug for this, and the green wire is your actual fuel sensor. So we just went ahead and ran just the fuel sensor into that clip, into that wire, and now we got, oh, no key. And now when we turn this, we get both our gauges lighting up. We got switch 12 on there, and we got our fuel gauge all hooked up now. As I mentioned, we are going to be pulling some parts off my bone stock one right here to add to the new build we're doing over here. Things like the seat, the ignition. After a problem where this front brake, master slave, is completely seized deep inside there now, the front brake is locked up completely on this. So I ordered a cheap front master cylinder for that, but I'd like to keep the cheap one on there, keep the OEM one on here. But it is just a cheap one from Amazon, so if it doesn't fit when it shows up tomorrow, I will just be taking this OEM one back off and throw it on there. Right now, we're gonna get the ignition and the seat lock and the seat swapped over. What the fuck? Went ahead and grabbed myself one of these cheap Amazon master cylinders. It looks like the actual fluid hole is on the bottom of the reservoir down there, which is kind of weird, as they're typically out the side over here. You can't really tell on this one. Not sure how it's gonna line up. We're gonna see right now. But I'm gonna slap it in there, and then hopefully we get this front brake fixed, because it's completely locked up the front wheel right now. Right, boys, as you can see, we got the front brakes working again. Front brakes absolutely dialed now, so it is time to continue on with the rest of the bike. That being said, as you can see, this stud right here is completely bent where our rack bolts up to. It's also pretty stripped, so we're going to be cutting that off, replacing that with a stronger stud, as well as boxing in the back of this like I've done on the last few pre-bugs I built. We're also going to be cutting our rear fender because we want to utilize this so you get the storage cubby right here underneath your seat. You need a platform to put things on. So we're going to run this mud flap, but we're also going to cut it up here and possibly cut some off the back because it drags a lot when you wheelie. So
well, as you could tell, we began chopping off this back part of the frame. That thing was completely stripped and bent, so I've done this a few times on other Zumas, and it's a very good way to reinforce this back end when you're running scrape bars or you're standing up a lot on this back piece, because it will bend on you.
We got our welder out because it is time to weld in our reinforcements. As you can see, we drilled out the old hole that the old one sat in, and we kind of chamfered it down into like a taper, and we're going to be tapering this head a little bit so it sits in there nice and snug. We'll fill the outside with weld, we'll come in here, throw a little weld up into the little hole that's up there, and then we have here our backing plate. So this is very simple. I basically took a piece of cardboard, I cut out this right here, this area, and then I took a piece of steel, and basically that's just going to kind of go in here, and kind of got to get it lined up in the right spot down here. But basically once it gets in there kind of snug, you put a big clamp around here and you pull it, and you'll notice it'll end up bending all the way in. Tack that, fill in the rest of the welds. Like I said, bada bing, bada boom. We'll have a reinforced rear end on this. I've done it before in another video, if you want to see more details on that in the other video, but let's just go ahead and get this done, because the more I stand out here in this 115-degree weather, everything's just overheating. All right, not the prettiest welds, but that'll hold. As you can see, we got the stud welded in, looped around there. We got everything welded in over here. We even came to the back and we re-tied in the frames right here where these welds ended, and then we also just filled up in there. Can't really see the sun. Got this bagged off just so I can spray this real quick without getting oversprayed, just to make sure all this doesn't rust back here. All right, this is how we're currently sitting right now. We put our mud flap in. We still got to cut this part off, but we put the mud flap in and kind of got everything set in here. Now that we have this cubby area here, we put on some MOPBOYZ rim stickers right here, which we got to add to the front wheel still. A little MOPBOYZ piece on there. Adds a little flavor to the wheels. We had to obviously cut this out because it's an aftermarket one, so it's a lot bigger. It sticks out farther, so we had to cut that out, but does not look bad at all. This is a $5 headset cover, an aftermarket one. It's not an OEM, so I was not scared to cut that out at all. We got that on there. We got our temp gauge mounted. We weren't able to use those new brake levers I bought. They just were not the right ones at all. Back to what I know best and just run the OEM ones. We kind of put them in the press and we bent them back a little bit. We're still waiting on our new headlights to show up, so that might not be in this video, but we do have our seat cover, and most importantly, we have our... Let's not do it that way. We have our brand new Yasuni R pipe that we need to de-restrict and install here. Now, I've shown this way too many times to do it again on the channel, but basically you're gonna take your pipe here, and if you have the regular one that comes with restrictions, you're gonna have a restrictor down in there. You see that, what looks like a washer down in here? Also gonna have one up here in the header. So what I do is I take this silencer all apart, you take the packing out, cut that one out. Let's go ahead, get this stripped down and get to work on that. So this is the one that was in the header that went in there. Now it's nice and open in there. And then obviously this is the long one that goes into the silencer like so. If you're running the restrictors on your bike, you're probably having a lot of tuning issues. Those make a big difference when you remove those. So we're gonna go ahead, repack everything up now, throw the exhaust on, and we're gonna seal all these little inner bits of O-rings. All right, silencer all reassembled and everything's pretty much ready to throw back together. So got the scooter here, I'm gonna throw the pipe on, mount the silencer, and get this thing finished up. All right, boys, not gonna lie, I didn't have the camera out and I just completely finished this prebug. Pipe installed, graphics installed. So this is the remodel of the junkyard scooter, V2, ferry to ferry prepped. Here we are, boys, check it out. I absolutely love the way this thing's looking with the contrast with the black panels and just the slightest little bits of stickers and stuff popping out. We got the blue Thrill Seeker seat cover, the MOPBOYZ logo up there. We slapped some slap stickers on the back. We'll probably end up filling this one up with just some random stickers. And then we got the little like Yamaha anniversary style graphics. These are basically for the front here, but I thought it looked a little off just having the front one. So I went ahead and slapped some back here. It doesn't look too bad. I think it looks kind of good over the white little MOPBOYZ rim slaps we got here with the MOPBOYZ logo on them. I think it pops pretty good. So we got a big old Polini filter on it just because I had this one laying around for a while. And I figured it didn't look too bad on the prebug because it still barely sticks out. But from back here, that boy's big. So we got our new shock on there. We got temporarily, this is my original stunt bar I made. It's a little shorter than the ones I started selling, and it doesn't have the tie plate bolted in. So this is just on there for looks. I have another one up in Oregon on my other Zuma that I'll put onto here once I get there. But this thing looks absolutely killer right now. I'm loving the stock bar look too. We got our yasuni pipe on there. Everything looking good all up in here. Very, very stoked with how this thing looks right now. Junkyard scooter finally finished. It's looking absolutely amazing. And as you can see, we're working on some other stuff going on right now. So you guys will see that here in the next video. We still have a few little tiny parts coming in for this junkyard Zuma. We have some new headlights and something very special I want to show you guys as well. A finishing touch on this thing. And then of course we gotta go take this thing for a little beat down before we head on the trip. So we're gonna have to get some riding in as well. But that is gonna do it for this one. Don't forget, go to MOPBOYZ.com and get yourself some merch. You have the chance to win this amazing 70cc Stage 6 engine that we built here to give to one of you guys. So www.mopboyz.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video.